First Samuel chapter 8, verse 1. Y'all ain't nothing new under the sun. If you think they just started these things, Israel has been up to these old tricks for the longest. It's just the same old soup warmed over. That's all it is. It's just coming with a dip. Somebody to add some seasoned salt. Somebody to add some garlic, salt, some black pepper. But it's still the same old soup warmed over. A hustle game.
It's a microwave hard mouth.
Right.
Microwave soup.
First Samuel chapter 8, starting at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
And it came to pass, when Samuel was old.
When he was what?
When he was old.
Right.
That he made his sons judges over Israel.
Okay.
Now the name of his firstborn was Joel. And the name of his second, Abba. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways.
What they do?
They walked not in his ways.
He set his sons up. So this let you know that even as righteous as Samuel was, this word, we have to be careful when we use scriptures like, well, is a man, if his household is unruly, it's because he unrighteous. No, we don't get down in here to see everything still has a free will choice. If Samuel was found to have some of them things, some blames on him, then we can say, yeah, that's why his house is out of order. But we have a rebellious household.
Right.
We don't like the truth if it ain't favoring us.
And Christ said your house will be divided because of the truth.
That's right.
It's what it is. You may be down, but they may not be down.
Let's get it.
You see it all the time. You go talk to somebody about something that has been loving you all your life. They can tell them something that's true. I'll deal with you. Alright. The name of his second, Abba. They were judges in Beersheba.
Right.
And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre.
What did they turn aside?
Turned aside after lucre.
Y'all know what lucre is?
Money.
Lucre is money. Today, the #1 traffic signed a lucrative contract.
Yeah, right.
50 million for 5 years guaranteed. That's a lucrative contract. That means guaranteed that whether if he never play a down in the NFL, that money's still in the bank. That's a lucrative contract. They took bribes for lucre. So they wasn't offering no chump change. Believe me, this wasn't no chicken change. No 2-piece and a biscuit money. They was offering retirement, past anniversaries. They talking Rolls Royce, Learjets, bribes.
Hill money.
Oh, let's get some more. Right. Go ahead.
After lucre, they took bribes.
What they say?
Took bribes.
We all know what a bribe is. Can I change your opinion? Can we talk about Florida electoral college? Faithless and electoral.
Pay them off, huh?
Bribes. We can pay this decision off. Let's get some more.
And perverted judgment.
And what they do?
And perverted judgment.
So you pervert judgment no matter what this guy's about. If the money's right, hey, the dollar is king around here. Cash is king, they say. Let's get some more.
Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, Behold, thou art old.
See, and then once this point, they're like, look, you done got too long in the tooth. And y'all understand what long in the tooth means is when you get older, your gums shrink.
So,
Long and longer, the gums was right here. But when you start to get long in the tooth, and your gums started to shrink more and more, teeth started to show. Now they look like a couple of chickens. But that's what they call you when you're tooth. Y'all just seen somebody lay back and laugh. Like, why tooth up? Oh, long tooth. But y'all, that's what happened. They were saying it, then they start saying the reason you losing it and they slip it because you done got too old. Well, the script says just the opposite. It say an old man with wisdom is a crown of glory, and his wisdom he take to his deathbed. But they looking at it like, well, we know it ain't what you practice. The only other thing we can say is your head too old and you got the toe cut out of them sandals. You just done got too old.
and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
See, now this is the deal. You old, your son's tripping. We need a king like all the other nations, then we can fix this problem. See, they vote for their kings every year, a strapping king. That's the system we need to be under. Then we won't have to worry about this in your shiesty sons. Now, that's the elders. It's the same way the elders of the church come out and saying, vote for this guy. These are the so-called elders. Why you think the only people they go to dealing with church is the so-called black Americans? They go to their churches because they know who they pledge allegiance to. The respecter of persons. The good Reverend Doctor.
If you vote for them, you want to take their sins. Like, how do you vote for Barack Obama and you know he deliberately goes against what God said?
Right.
Well,
Right.
You
let me
vote
tell you
for
the
that.
excuses they just say. Well, the pastors wasn't saying nothing, and they got homosexuals playing the keyboards right now. Half of them gay already. So why they speaking out now?
A tambourine play.
So they justify the wickedness that's already been going on and say that don't change this decision. That is why we vote. So we understand clearly once there's an excuse for justified evil, then ain't nothing you can do about it. You just have to understand a little level left in the whole lump. We have to understand that we done seen the drama that comes behind a nation that's been given free run. But it's all coming just like it said, the days of Noah. Going after strange flesh. Next, reality coming in, the whole night.
And they got the transhumanism act.
All that coming in. So y'all, all they doing is getting us prepared. Mixing animal and blood and human genes together.
They doing it on Plum Island too.
Right.
You know about Plum Island?
What they doing?
Plum Island is a Nazi scientist by the name of Eric Chow.
What they doing? Hold it down, y'all.
They got a place called Plum Island.
Hold it down, y'all.
And on Plum Island, they doing all kind of experiments, making beasts, man, half beasts.
They've been doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what else they doing?
Yeah, they've been doing it. Yeah, you're right.
They're doing it on Chicago 5th Street.
Yeah.
They're doing it South Side on Holly Hill. There's some mad scientists tampering with human DNA and animals.
Right.
And a lot of them are a part of it because they behind that animal.
Right. It was a movie out one time. I don't remember the name of it, but it was on the island. Remember? And they was doing that. Is that the name?
What is it? Hold it down, y'all.
I
What you
just
call
saw
it,
the
sister?
movie a long time ago.
That's a movie. This is real life. I'm
What was
telling
the
you.
name?
The island of Dr. Monroe.
Yeah, that movie right there. They was doing
Yeah.
that.
Y'all seen all these laboratories, y'all, all them little pickle jaws with them fetuses in there, y'all, those are experiments. It's incest of the whole nine, all of that's coming in. You have to understand it's turning into the land of Canaan, this land. That's why all of Leviticus is about be not like the land of Canaan.
Yeah.
Everything you're seeing now took place in the land of Canaan, and it was a taught practice. You have to understand that Canaan was the greatest land and still is the most supernatural spot on earth because it's Jerusalem.
Right.
But it's wicked now, and that's what Satan has gained capital of the most holiest site on earth. And now they lead the nation in same-sex, I mean, what is it? Tel Aviv, number one.
Gay parades.
They are called the gayest city in the world right now. Tel Aviv, the Holy Land. No.
We ain't talking about Marvin Gaye.
No. I'm telling you, they got designer butt out jeans up in there.
Prince love to shop there.
Let's get it, y'all. We'll get it. We got a question.
Brother Glenn, go ahead.
Go ahead, Glenn.
I was going to say, under the NDA Act, Obama and made it legal for bestiality. Soldiers, U.S. soldiers can commit bestiality.
What? What is this called?
The National Defense Authorization Act. Obama signed that law on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, sodomy and bestiality is legal for U.S. soldiers.
What is it called?
NDAA. The National Defense Authorization Act.
Bestiality and homosexuality is cool for U.S. soldiers.
Well, y'all feel good about those? And understand this, y'all. Understand this, y'all. What they're doing is satisfying everybody. Everybody is being satisfied. So that's all they're looking for. That's what they said from the start. This is what America about satisfying your feelings. Y'all think USA means United States of America?
United Slaves of America. United States Authority.
Y'all have to understand that who's the ruler here. He told Christ, I give you all the kingdoms of the world. They all belong to me. This was future kingdoms. This was the kingdoms at that time. You didn't think America was on the list? He said, I'll be running that one too.
I'll be running that one too.
Right.
Your father gave these to me. Go talk with him. He's there. Christ had a question on that. He said, yeah, but you know when that run out, what you got to do. Satan said, well, until that time, I'm attacking your servants. So keep the party going. Let's get some more to say. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6. But the thing that
hold it down, y'all. Go ahead.
But the thing displeased Samuel.
Right.
They said, give us a king to judge us.
Give us a what?
A king to judge us.
Right.
And Samuel prayed unto the Lord.
What Samuel do?
He prayed unto the Lord.
See, Samuel went to get this thing right. He like, they gonna pray. Or is it me? Am I that old? It's all the time of setting in. Let's get some more.
And prayed unto the Lord. Right? And the Lord said unto Samuel.
What the Lord say?
Hearken unto the voice of the people.
You see what the Most High is going to give you what you ask for. Yeah. So be careful what you ask for. Go ahead.
The voice of the people and all that they say unto thee. But they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me.
See, so the Most High took it right off of Samuel. Don't you worry about it. It ain't an attack on you. Don't let it be personal with you. They after me. And once you get your mindset and understand this is spiritual war, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This whole mission is that prophecy and the second coming of Christ don't happen. Or we're going to roadblock. And this ain't got nothing personally to do with you. This happened in the Garden of Eden. This plan was set up. Let's get some more.
Verse 8. No, start at the 7 again. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people and all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee. They have rejected me. And I should not reign over them.
Then he should not what?
Should not reign over them.
Y'all understand this. Every time somebody combat the word of God, they're saying, I don't want God to reign over me. Now the pastor, that's one thing. I done called him at the hot sheep joint, so we cool. But the Lord that has no sin, I don't want him reign on me because I got to be like that. Why wouldn't you want to be like that? That's what you complain about all the time. Them niggas that steal. Does thou steal?
Right. You commit sacrilege.
Yeah, it's too harsh. Let's get some more. What we at?
Verse 8. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee.
Right.
Now therefore hearken unto their voice.
Do what?
Now therefore hearken unto their voice. Howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
Now look at this. Most High ain't leaving another point. He said, and when you do this, don't worry about this meeting. He said, what I want you to do, I want you to go and tell them exactly the type of king that they're going to have, because apparently they don't understand the king of Canaan. They don't understand the Amaleks and the Philistines, what type of kings that they are, what they are asking and inviting in. Tell them this is what they're going to get. Because this is how these kings get down. Don't leave them where they're going to be, because next they're going to be saying, you didn't tell us. We didn't have no idea he was going to do this. If I'd have known that, I'd have voted for Romney. Let's get them up.
Verse 10. And Samuel told all.
Ain't this big business right here, you know what I'm saying? It's like spinning the most out place, like when they break deal with
Yeah, because he was already reigning over us. Y'all got the most high power.
Right, we said all
And in Egypt, split the Red Sea for you. What else you need to see?
Right.
Right? But now we want to be like everybody else. We want a king. He's like, all right, you rejected me. I'm going to show them exactly who's going to rule over them. Right? Because you asked for it, though. Your heart lusted after to have somebody you can see rule over you instead of dealing with the most high power.
That's right.
That's on you.
About to get it.
Come on, bro.
Verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. Verse 11. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you.
And now you, for all of us who went to church, you're going to see the king that's reigning over the churches right now. Because this is what they asked for. Let's see if this don't match up to the letter for those of us who've been in what we call currently modern day Christianity or Christianity or anything opposite of the gospel of Christ. We're going to see this because we're going to break it down. What you got, brother? We in 1 Samuel 8,
verse 11.
Verse 11.
Like when Christ said in Matthew 23 is that we all are brothers.
That's right.
You already got a master over you. You already got a father. That's right. You already got a reverend and a rabbi.
That's right.
And it's me. All y'all are brothers. Regardless of the brothers in the pretty teaching or the brothers in the crowd. Brothers in the crowd. We on the same level. It ain't like, you know, okay, when they put your wine up, Brother Kador's coming around the corner.
I'm going to ask you for a hit of that.
Absolutely.
So it's nothing to exalt no man. Right? Christ is the head.
That's right. And understand this. What your title will be in the kingdom if you make it. I ain't never heard him say, and the righteous Abraham and the most honorable David. It says, my servant David, my servant Abraham. Everybody gets the same title in the kingdom. Servant.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Verse 11. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your son.
What he gonna do?
He will take your son.
What we do as soon as we get good with the past, you got a few sons and grandsons. Pastor, this is the rough. And yeah, you know, I know he's working with his heart, but it's gonna be okay. See, he knows the Lord, and I want him to become a deacon. You know, if you work with a children boy, usher boy, whatever. They take your son. All we give our sons to them. All of us know our parents immediately run them up to the pastor. Here he is, and you trying to look like this, like, how do I get the look off of my face that I just stole somebody's radio? And he looking at you like this a boy of the Lord. Let's get some more of this, boy.
He will take your sons and appoint them for himself.
What do you do?
Appoint them for himself.
Don't you understand all these priests, what they got? Sons of God of this. Who got the biggest boy? T.D. Fakes got his sons of somebody. Who was Eddie Thong? Eddie Thong. All them boys were sons of what? Yeah, right. These are all their sons now. This is what they do. They're gaining your children up under their banner to work whatever magic they want to work on.
The long fellas.
And those proselytes that they have are going to continue to spread the lie.
That's
So
right.
people understand they come up under the mysticism, then they spread the lie. And then you get a conditioned response all your life. And you say it without researching it.
Let's get it.
Verse 11 again. He will appoint them for himself.
Right.
For his chariots.
What for his what?
For his chariots. And to be his horsemen. And some shall run before his chariots.
So y'all, we see what they doing. Y'all, they going all out for the pastor. Don't park in his spot. Get his car clean. Do this. He running. They running in front of the chariot. Here he come. Here he come. The sinner like us was worthy to be worshipped. Here he come. The sinner like us.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Verse 12.
Yeah.
And he will appoint him captains over thousands.
Right? Deacons set up elders, and they follow none of Timothy or Titus on what the deacon and a bishop must be. There's rules to that. They just pick you out. You looking good and got a good job. I hate working at McDonald's. The deacon board have been viewing you. You have not nodded off in 10 classes. And you know 2 of the 10 commandments. We're going to make you a deacon starting next week. You think you're going to run and tell all the family members the phone will be lit up? JoJo a deacon. And they got no understanding. He's a novice. The script tell you a bishop cannot be a novice. He can't be Christ was 12 years old and they couldn't understand him. Where did he learn how to read? He was a young elder. Joshua was. He was 20. When the Most High say, I'm taking you, so understand elder just don't mean gray hair. Elder means skill and wisdom at a young age. And if you take that from a young age to old age, that's double honor. That's what it means giving elder some double honor. Because they have been in it from a childhood, like Samuel now. Samuel was from the womb all the way up to now. He's old, and he still trusts double honor for this. And all that honor means is just a different kind of respect. This is the time that you will grab the door for or help him make sure he get up them steps, but not to bow down and worship him. Right. Now,
and they get double honor if they rule
well. Absolutely.
They don't get double honor if they don't rule well. So just because you arrive at an old status, you still out here doing the same stuff somebody wicked doing.
Right.
What kind of honor you get?
That's right.
You don't get none.
Let's get it.
And he will appoint him captains over thousands.
Right.
And captains over 50s. And will set them to ear his ground.
What he gonna do?
And will set them to ear his ground.
Y'all understand that? That's the man, his corn. Wow. To ear his ground. He's gonna get that harvest going under his doctrine. Go ahead.
And to reap his harvest.
And to do what?
And to reap his harvest.
Bring them in, y'all. Look. That money ain't down there at the Series building.
Money coming.
They crazy. Look at how they dress. You better come on down to New Mount, such and such on the road to Galilee, around the corner of Jericho Baptist Church. Of Zion. Right. If you want to see the Lord is there. Let's
and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariot.
Okay.
And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries and to be cooks and to be bakers.
So right here they controlling all of that. And we see what's happening. Your mother will tell you this is an honor for the pastor to ask you to bake that cake. Is you crazy? Right. What is wrong with you? I'm starting to believe what that teacher said. You are. It's an honor. He asked you to bake a cake. No. Let's get some more.
Verse 14. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive oil.
Right.
Even the best of them, and give them to his servants.
Who you think show up and seeing if there's an insurance policy on one day of death? Oh, sister, I know it's a trying time. Talking to a few members of the church, male staff, that is. Henry had a collection of Stacey Adams that 10 and a half, at least 4 of the deacons were 10 and a half, and we were trying. He get in on what's being passed out. How much is the insurance policy? 100 grand? 10% going to the church of that? Is we get in on that? Right. You don't have to understand, y'all, this is a business. Get some more of that. Boy.
Man. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, the best of them, and give them to his servants.
Right.
And he will take the 10th of your seed.
What are you going to take?
The 10th of your seed.
Now they holler tithing more than anybody, but in the same breath say the law is done away with. What tithing is a law, according to Numbers 20 in Nehemiah, or 10:36. It says, tithing as saith the law. Hebrews 7 also said that there must be a change for the law of tithing. Tithing is a law. How you going to say it's done away with and then put Malachi 3:8 on somebody and that's in the Old Testament and then just say that was done away with?
Right. And can you prove that you're a Levite?
They don't know nothing about that. They ain't caring about nothing about that. He said, I'm anointed. Let's get some more.
And of your vineyards, and give to his officers and to his servants.
Right.
And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses and put them to his work.
Right.
He will take the 10th of your sheep.
What he said, now he said, now he moving into all the offerings. Already say a tithing. Now he up on the sheep tithe. Now he up on this offering, the building fund, and so on, and so on, and so on, till he taken all. Isaiah 59 say a greedy dog that can never have enough. Yo, that's a greedy dog. When they know that he didn't drain your pockets dry, he's still digging deep.
He still wants some money.
I want that 40 ounce money you got saved to the side. I want that shoe money. I want all of that you saving to the side. Give it to the Lord. And get you a pair of heavenly shoes. Y'all know what that means. Some Paylesses. So you can expect they're going to wear out soon, but they're saying as long as the Lord get first dibs on this. And convince you of such. Let's get some more. What was that?
Verse 18. And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you. You chose.
That's right.
And the Lord will not hear you in that day.
The Lord ain't going to hear you in that day. How many people you going to think when Barack is forced to make an executive order decision about this nation? That's not going to go well with the so-called black Americans or whoever else that voted for him. He may have to make a decision, a sovereign decision. I got to put them down. That's going to be unfavorable to somebody. You got a warlord over here. What would you say about the drones? What he done already?
Just ordered his 300th drone strike since he took office. Barack Obama been behind more killings than Bush. Nobody even know that. He speaks well though. You go they fighting was the drones, remote control planes over Pakistan and Afghanistan. He just ordered his 300th drone strike a couple days ago since he took office.
Now understand that there's a necessary evil around this, because believe us, y'all, as rough as it is on these streets out here, we going crazy. The world is getting new candidates every week. But it's the best place on planet Earth to be. Right now. It's the best place on planet Earth to be. So yeah, keep them crazed Ishmaelites out of here coming in here with dynamite vests strapped on to this, because they may show up at one of our backyard parties. Ain't no telling. It's a service station. We right around the corner. They own it, all of them. When they number get called, they gonna set it off.
And they own the gas stations.
All of them. Y'all have to understand. So it may come down to an unfavorable decision.
Everyone must die.
You think that they gonna accept y'all? Let's get some more of this. We're gonna get right to this topic. Go ahead. Where you at?
Verse 19. Nevertheless, the people refuse to obey the voice of Samuel. They refuse to obey the voice of Samuel.
So y'all don't get deterred when nobody won't listen to you. They didn't listen to all the prophets. They didn't listen to the chief prophet himself. They didn't listen to Christ, the chief priest, the king. They didn't listen to none of his words. So ain't no need you getting that up in arms about it. All you know is in your heart, did I truly give them the right information justly? First, because I was commanded by Christ to do so, and the Father. And secondly, that it will hide a multitude of my sins. If you did it for any other reason, that ain't charity. That's some kind of hustle or angle you trying to get in on. I told you I was smarter than you. No, we can't even play that game amongst ourselves. Let's get it.
Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, nay, but we will have a king over us.
No matter what the pastor say, that's what we believe.
That we also may be like all the nations.
Like who?
All the nations. And that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles.
The Most High never fought our battles.
Right.
That's crazy.
And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, go ye every man unto his city.
Okay, y'all read over, y'all see that who they end up choosing was Saul. And read, let's look at how they chose. Because Saul stood taller than everybody else. Scrapping like Shaq O'Neal or Dwight Howard. That'll be our king right there. See, when the nation see how tall and strapping he is, they're going to get scared and run. Well, Saul wasn't expecting spiritual war. And was cowering. Like a coward dog. And y'all know ain't nothing wrong worse than that. You got a dog protecting your valuables and he bagging up with his tail between his leg bones. And it's your Gene. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at? That's it for that. Go ahead, bro.
So what was supposed to go on, from my understanding of everybody, we was up under the Most High, we had commandments, but no man above nobody else. We supposed to go and give out this word to all the other nations, where the whole earth supposed to be just up under the Most High, right?
That's right.
We understand it, and we do not do that, and we said let's be like them. So that's the situation. That's why we in the situation we in.
Well, this is what happens. We're dealing with a chief adversary here. See, if you're not understanding who the adversary is, Satan. He knew all the laws. He was done when it was put down. He watched Adam be created. He watched all of this, and he was part of the angels in Job 38 that shouted for joy, the sons of God, when the world was being put down. He said, this is cool. But then when he found out, so I gotta worship the dirt man? I'm serving to him. That's what angels are here for, to serve us. We ain't serving them. They here to keep us on the right path, and you know, if we righteous, they have our backs. This is the covenant thing, angel of the law. And we're going to see when you do right, he sends his angel. He said, my angel is always the children. Their angel is always before their face. They have guardian angels that watch over them. Now, you may look and say, well, this baby got killed in this, and this man got killed. But the angel took that baby and delivered him to the third paradise. That baby ain't got nothing to worry about, because we're talking about the kingdom to come, not this earthly kingdom. You already know when that baby was born, it's a chance he wasn't going to make it out of the delivery room. Right. If the doctor kept on hitting him and no sound, you still in the same position as that truck ran over at the bus stop. It's a chance because you're born with that nature of corruption. And that means you're going to die fleshly, and the main thing is to make sure you don't die spiritually. Well, that eliminates them when they have an angel. Takes them right to the bosom of Christ. Christ told us that. And if anybody mess with these children while they're in their innocence, it'd be better they had tied a millstone around their neck and jumped in the ocean than to do something with these little ones. But what does Satan say? Satan say bust their head down to the white meat, rape a baby, tear the pamp off of them and have your way with it, and then you gain favor with me. That's what Satan say. Y'all don't think these little patches of honey boo boo child and all of this? Men are lusting after them little children dressed up like grown women? Huh? This woman that told him he ain't got half or nothing to work with. Now he got his eyes focused on boo boo child. Figure maybe he can pleasure her. A child. Hey, let's get it going, boy. Where we at? Okay, let's get down to the topic at hand. And we're going to get to some situations where angels visit us. But how to tip off on if it's the angel of the Lord, which Christ is the angel of the Lord. We'll read that throughout these scriptures, that Christ has been identified that he is the #1 angel for the Lord. He's the #1 priest, the prophet. Everything goes through him on every order that is established, even to the word servant. Even if you go on to our title or even brethren, it's still above every name on earth. Because he works. Let's get it. Let's go to some Genesis chapter 16. And we're just going to hit a few of these, y'all. And we're going to move through, but you're going to see the difference in where the angel of the Lord or Christ shows up on the scene. And you're going to be able to separate the differences from anybody else just saying Christ is just just a regular angel, or, you know, he was made, and then they try to reduce his DNA to the flesh of anybody else. Genesis 16:7 we're going to start at, and we're going to read a few of these, y'all, and we're just going to move through, and you're going to see different places where angels showed up, but it's going to be a difference in when the angel of the Lord is identified, or that title is been pronounced on this angel. Yeah. Everybody there?
Genesis chapter 16.
Anybody got the book of Genesis? Oh, you got it right here. Genesis chapter 16, absolutely. Yeah, 16. What you got? Verse 1. We can start at verse 1. No problem. Genesis 16, verse 1.
First child.
What you saying?
They said first child.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Boy, you back, look. You gonna skip over them other 530 verses before that? Let's get it.
Chapter 16, verse 1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bore him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar.
Now, this Egyptian that Sarah had was the handmaid that was given to Abraham and Sarah when they went through Egypt, and Pharaoh took Sarah from him. And Abraham lied and said, this is my sister, there's no the rest of the house. If they ask you, say she my sister, because they kill people for their wives around here. Man will put you to death for your woman if she finds you. You know, yeah. So, right here, this was during that time when the angel of the Lord struck Pharaoh a couple of times on his hand whenever he tried to reach for him. Want to do a little fondling. And his hand was crooked. He like, wait a minute, something going on here. Every time I reach, I throw back another.
DJ Paul.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. He's like this now. He's like, something going on. And then he said, man, something going on. Is this a curse? He's like, well, she's my wife. He like, you could have just told me that. So he gave him great abundance of wealth. And Sarah back never touched her. And she was in the house with him over 6 months. And then gave him Hagar, the handmaid. This is a handmaid for her. And what a handmaid would do, she would take care of all of her womanly needs. Everything. Right. Everything. Concubine. Right. Let's get it.
Verse 2. Sarah said unto Abram, behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing.
So Sarah couldn't have any children. Go ahead.
I pray thee, go in unto my maid.
What she say?
Go in unto my maid.
So we see here an act of polygamy taking place, is where Sarah is saying, you can have her, but you understand who's giving this direction. It ain't Abraham looking at winking and rattling whatever Viagra was back in that day under his robe. No, Sarah told him, look, I can't have no children. Eleazar, he's like your stepson, he ain't even your son. Go into her. This is the order. This is called surrogate motherhood back in the day. That's what a surrogate was. They would have children for you, but it would still be your child. Let's get it.
Verse 2 again.
Sarah
said unto Abram, behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid.
Right.
It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened unto the voice of Sarah.
So Abraham didn't have a problem with that. I don't know what Hagar looked like, but he didn't have no problem. But y'all will see chapters before that the angel of the Lord had already came to Sarah and told her, you're going to have a child.
Right.
So she leapfrogging this.
Yeah.
She like, hey, my flower ain't came back, lack of faith. So now she's going to rush prophecy in like a lot of us think that if we vote somebody in or we do this, we can rush prophecy to see something in our lifetime. It may not be in your lifetime. Can you think about the first Israelites getting loaded on that ship when they know the prophecy? 400 years thou shalt serve a king that will use a symbol of an eagle, and you the first ones on the ship. What you think then? You know it's death for me. I'm gonna die under these conditions. I gotta get my heart prepared for this in life now. This thing can end 20 years from now. Because if we don't go by the prophecies to the left, we're going to be thrown off, and the deceiver going to come in and snatch what you're hoping to believe in. Give me another. Where we at?
Verse 3. And Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan.
Right.
And gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife.
To be his wife?
Wife.
See, y'all, so this ain't just no booty call Sarah handed to you. She said to be his wife. According to all of the laws in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, should know all milk enough for all thy maidens. So everyone was equally, but Sarah being the mistress, and understand this too, a lot of times, that's why we got to be careful about resources. Today we think the mistress is the outside woman. Yeah. But according to the Bible, the mistress is the wife, the first wife. So y'all
that's what I want to say, bro. In the dictionary, it reads just like that, though. It don't read at the Bible.
Right, absolutely. And in the same way, that's why you have to be careful with resources. They always have two definitions. In the Bible, the dictionary said adultery, man or any married man or any married woman that sleep with somebody else is adultery in the dictionary. But according to the Bible, it says that if any man sleep with another man's wife that's married to him, that's adultery. If he sleeps with a single woman and don't marry her, that's fornication. That's not adultery. Adultery you will be put to death for. So you have to be careful on what you look at in there. The resource has to match the source, not the other way around. Right. So we have to be careful with that when you read, so you don't be getting thrown off, and then you start chasing society. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 4. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived.
And she did what?
Conceived.
Okay.
And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
So who was despised?
Her mistress.
Her mistress, which is Sarah. Her mistress was despised. She's like, boy, I mean, I only seen her over there 10 once and her belly big as a pumpkin already. Damn, it is you. Damn, the barren woman. I can't with you. Damn. It's a hurt or it's a reproach to a woman that you read throughout all her. It's like some men have certain reproaches for them. This is one for a woman that cannot bear her husband's child. It's a reproach. Go ahead.
So, okay, so the wife is the mistress.
Right.
And so when they had polygamy back then, the wife chose the other woman?
Absolutely. Majority of the time. Not all the time, but the majority of the time it was a mutual agreement, and there was something that had to deal with taking care of this household for this reason. It wasn't just for booty call. Right, for no fun times. Right. Right.
So
No,
it
wasn't no
something that the wife could not fulfill, then she would get.
right, a handmaid, if she just knew this wasn't gonna be happening and it's just like this, rather than to see him suffer like this, I know he loved me. Hey. I know this man loved me, but this man want a child.
Hey, this ain't
and I can't do it.
Right.
Oh, well, in this nation,
you ain't even had no children, did you?
And understand this nation say more than one wife. Right now. This nation said more than one wife is called bigamy. And that's a violation of the law. And since Romans 13 tells us we have to obey the laws of the land to keep you out of trouble, to keep you out of jail from going to jail as a bigamist. Leave it alone. And right now, with the way we are, if you already got one pissed off, believe me, don't try 5 or 6 more at the same time.
You gonna have time.
And time, enough milk for all that things. That means you got to teach this one. Teach you give her a Chevrolet Cavalier. This one has to get a Chevrolet Cavalier too.
You can't get her being.
No, you can't. No, equal cross. And then if the firstborn son, the heir. If you like the second wife, you can leapfrog and give the heir to her son because you like him better. No, that was ordered. That way the Most High made sure it wasn't no hustle game, and this wasn't just no bed and a woman game. You was gonna have some responsibilities with this.
Like he raised the bar, like the men was have to be able to provide across the table.
Across the table.
You feel me? Now you got brothers trying to jack their Mac and then sit home and play Xbox all day.
Right.
Wait for her to bring the check on.
No.
Right on, sister. Keep working hard.
Right. No, none of that, y'all. It wasn't none of that. See, the Most High said these things were leaked because there's no secrets. Understand this. She ain't got to wonder if he around there at Lucinda's house.
You don't know.
She know who his other wife is. There ain't no secrets. You may not like it, but there ain't no secrets. So it's not like the town could be whispering. He over there with that gun.
So you know, like when those people from the Latter-day Saints, when they arrested those bigamists, if church and state is separate, like the religious and legal is different, how were they able to arrest him?
Because it was more than just polygamy that was on. He was laying with his sister.
So it wasn't, he didn't go down for polygamy.
Who you speaking about?
Warren Jefferson.
Oh no, he had underage children. That was the whole mission of that. They didn't care about the adult because that's consensual. It's 12-year-old children that he's on photos with. I mean, kissing like they're grown women. And these are 12-year-olds below innocent, robbing them of their innocence.
So like if you were in a group and this was according to your religion that you could do that, then they still could arrest you because it's against
No. You can go to Utah, and it's legal there. Under the like now, Colorado and Oregon has just passed legal marijuana law.
I just heard about
But
it.
doesn't the federal law supersede the
Yes, they
state
do.
level? So then how can they do it then?
Well, when they're saying separation of state and different things, even though the feds control everything, long as the state law don't jeopardize the sovereignty of the nation. Feds make sure that this don't happen. That's why they'll lock up Martha Stewart. They'll put Bernie Madoff with all their money behind bars. Because, see, they're saying nobody supersedes our government. Nobody is above the government. We don't care how much paper they got. Nobody supersedes. That's when the feds come in. But he'll let the states play their game. And he said, just abide by them state laws. But if it comes to the fed level, see, the fed level says no same-sex marriage. That's what it says on the fed level.
Also says the Bible is the word of God.
So you have to understand how the feds is playing this game. They leave certain things to the states. See, what they try to mimic is like we just read what Samuel went to the Lord. It was a commandment, and the Lord he didn't revise his commandment. He said, just give them what they want. You know, so a lot of times things are dropped down to lower levels, like Moses went to him about the daughters of Zehoshaphat. Ain't none of them got no son that passed their father's inheritance. What we gonna do about that? They questioned me, Lord. He said, well, look, long as if she marry another one of her tribe, if she a Judite, she got to marry a Judite. And then the child is born, if it's a son, then that's his heir. So now we put everything back in line. So yeah, things will drop down to certain, like a state level for us in the same way, but it was always done with righteousness and take all of that funny stuff out. Because after a while, you know, your money gets short, you want to start cutting people off. You know, y'all ride together now. They coming to get these other two cars. No, that's going to be a problem. Right? We moving into a smaller house.
I ain't got time for it.
No. Let's get it.
It's kind of like Jacob. He had 4 wives, you know, Rachel, 2 sisters, and the 2 servants.
Right.
Right. Had 12 sons, had 13 children.
Right. So we have to understand, y'all, right? And 1 daughter, right? So y'all, we have to understand, but every one of them situations was about building the nation of Israel. It had nothing to do with what is called a whoremonger or a plan. None of that. That ain't permitted in the Bible nowhere. But was polygamy legal? Yes. There's nowhere in here that it says it nothing. It just says for a king to not do it.
Not too many.
Not too many. David had 8. The Lord said, I gave you all the souls. And would have gave you many more, but you decided to take Uriah's wife. You had 8 of your own, and you saw this one. He been with her since they was in grade school. You didn't do that. And then you're going to set them up to get killed, and you weren't told that was Uriah. Not only this, but this was a Hamite that loved you more than all the rest of your soldiers out of your same bloodline. And just because you're a Hamite, this way you did it? No, you're going to have to pay for that, David. So y'all, we have to understand that. Let's get it.
Verse 5. Sarah said unto Abram,
what?
My wrong be upon thee.
What she say?
My wrong be upon thee.
Now, Sarah admitted that she was wrong right here. My wrong be upon thee, because now she's thinking the Lord said he was going to open my womb. I'm just saying I'm 90 years old. That time the month ain't rolled around for me in 40 years. Is anything too hard for the Lord? You know what I'm saying? This is but her mind is there. The difference between her and Mary, the mother of Christ, when the angel told her, she said, so be it. If it's the word of the Lord. Only question she asked, she said, well, everything I'm understanding, you got to have a man to have a baby. She said, how will it be? I have not known a man. It says the Holy Spirit shall overshadow you. At that point, she never doubted again. She said, so be it. Then when she started seeing her belly grow, she's like, this is the truth. What Sarah didn't believe it wholeheartedly because she thought she got it. And then she kind of laughed at it and said, "You gonna have a child, me?"
Yeah, at an old age, because she was so old.
Right. That's what it means. Absolutely, from that. Let's get it.
Verse 5 again.
Uh-huh.
And Sarah said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee.
Right.
I have given my maid unto thy bosom, my bad. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes.
Who was despising? So now we see verse 4. Who was the mistress? See, her mistress was despised. And now in verse 6, she just said, with verse 7, she said, and I was despised. Wait a minute.
Verse 5.
Verse 5, she said, I was despised in her eye. It was me. I'm the mistress. You know, so now you seeing that a lot of times when you hear words out on the street, they may actually mean the opposite according to the Bible. Yeah. That's how crafty our adversary is. You know. Let's get some more.
End of verse 5. The Lord judged between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarah, behold, thy maid is in thy hand.
Right.
Do to her as it please thee.
So this is number 30 now. Right. He let her, why you let that boy? Hey, dog, if it was me, dog. But see, the only thing on their mind is after midnight. When all the lights go out. Right. It ain't thinking about these responsibilities and a covenant got to go forward. Yeah. All you thinking about is fun. Yeah. Let's get some more.
Verse 6 again.
Uh-huh.
But Abram said unto Sarah, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it please thee. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face.
And Sarah dealt harshly with her. Yeah. You've been faking the funk all along. Now all of the thoughts is playing. Feelings kicking in now. You've been after them all along. I saw the way you cut your eyes. And you know she was telling the thing, rubbing her belly, the whole couple BS. The fruit of Abraham. You can't do this, huh? You don't know how we get down. It was rough. And she around these Hebrews. That's why they hate the rock so bad. He don't act like a Kenyan. You ain't seen no Kenyan walking with swag.